me here.
Okay.
Turtle your blue side jungle, and then scale to 3 items, and then laugh. You ever do that?
Oh, yeah, all the
All
time.
right, well, it doesn't matter. Kingzone's not doing it either. So DAMWON are going to find themselves with Gunslinger, Noble, and Glacial picks up the Scavengers on the side. But for DAMWON, now they're going to be the ones piloting the aggressive comp. Lucian, Braum, Aurelia, Sejuani, and the Gangplank. They have some scaling components on the team, but this wants to explode around 2 items, and then it starts tapering off.
We'll see if they can push the advantage here early on as we're going to jump into Game 2 right now. Well, the fans are getting into it, and you should be as well. We got a big game on our hands here. DWG took it to Kingzone in Game 1 and showed them who was boss. But now it's going to be Kingzone's opportunity to strike back here. We'll see if they can do it.
Looks like we're going to have relatively defensive opening from both parties. And Spellbook on Sejuani is going to be interesting.
Canyon, after that game, the coach just lets him do whatever he wants.
Yep.
So he's like, okay, I'm going Spellbook.
And because he has Predator on the Trundle. So a little bit surprising, because that would suggest that he wants to go aggressive and try to accelerate the early stages rather than just match counter gank and naturally outscale with the rest of his teammates.
Def got 50 gold. He got a gold sack as he's fishing for more here. He's going to get another 5. As okay, they forced the smite even, so nice little win there. And I believe Canyon was the one that went for the Spellbook on the Jarvan, if I remember correctly from Rift Rivals.
Spellbook is really, really good as a summoner, especially if you don't need any of the other summoners early on for any reason. As it looks like Canyon is going to do blue wolves, and take a look at the interesting route that he's doing. He's doing this to circumvent and go around the ward that Kingzone has placed, and this is going to play with them a little bit. The issue, however, though, is that they had intel in the blue side jungle.
Good try, Nuggery, with the 3 barrels. Didn't work out.
Press the attack was taken on Kennen. This will be attack or 80 Kennen. So he's going to be looking to go into split push mode here against the Gangplank.
We'll see if Nuggery can pilot the GP to a similar level to what we saw yesterday at a Cuvée, who was kind of showing everybody who's the GP boss, who knows how to play GP the best. It's 1v1ing against, I think it was Aurelia. No, it was Camille. But just a fantastic game there. Nuggery getting a little bit of inspiration, perhaps, saying he was going to play it today.
And Deft and Tushen crashing a massive wave down here in bottom lane. Deft probably just going to go for a cheater recall. Nope, actually they're going to come over and get the Scuttle Crab. Not looking for a cheater. And they're going to just pick that up as Trundle now moving towards the left-hand side of the map. Can run into Canyon there. He's also coming off of a recall. He has the Talisman, Hunter's Machete, and the boots for the Predator. Now, Naheon doesn't have Prio here, and I can't quite see the top lane state. But it does look like Nuggery could be the first to move. And so this will mean that Sejuani will get the Scuttle Crab.
It does delay the XP a bit here from Cuz, as the bottom one was taken by his bot lane. So kind of unfortunate for him. Rascal going for a very quick recall and going up there. They're waiting for the recall here immediately as Nuggery is pushing in. Looking for that stun. And there it is, trying to get on top. He immediately flashes in, and Nuggery knows he's dead. Fantastic setup there from Cuz and Rascal, and they pick up first blood.
And the interesting thing here is that Cuz knows that there's no ward in the brush because the minions broke aggro as he entered it. So he can guarantee that there's no vision inside it. He could have waited inside of the brush, and then if Nuggery TP's back onto the wave, you can repeat gank him, or you can force Gangplank to teleport to the turret, end up missing out on an entire wave. You end up basically assist killing him one more time. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case. They get total confirmation of where Trundle was before Nuggery ends up re-TPing to this top lane. And just take a look at this. Cuz coming in, doesn't want to mess around. Flashes and chomps. And this was surprising. Because this is 2 games in a row where the jungle has options to ruin top, but is not opting to take it.
They just move elsewhere. They want to farm out their jungle, perhaps. During that time when the Trundle was top, we actually had a ton of vision placed in the red side jungle, so they know exactly where Cuz is right now. And actually, that one control ward is going to stay alive in this game. We'll see how long that one does stay alive, if it does need to be named.
That's a really painful ward, especially when you're not a jungler that will path through that brush as you're going to red. As Rascal, he has a call here on the cannon. He has already exhausted his teleport, though. And Nuggery is doing a pretty good job here, actually, up in top lane, all things considered. Thomas, he gets slowed a little bit.
Looked like he was actually pushing Rascal under turret, even though he was down a level. Finally hits level 6 here, as Rascal is going to go for a recall. Take a look at the health bar difference. As Nuggery just able to sustain a little bit better for now, even as 2 more charges on his corrupting pot. And this cannon is going to miss a bunch of XP. This isn't even a cannon wave that's coming into the top side.
He's going to get a demolish proc even.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
How did that even happen?
Yeah, this is not how you want to play Gangplank versus AD Cannon. Or, well, this isn't how you want to play AD Cannon against Gangplank, so.
Yeah. No, I agree, he's doing a great job. He held his flash, which allows him to play a little bit more aggressive. If he didn't have a splash, he might just have to stay back a little bit. They have some decent vision up in the top side, too, which allows him to push that one in. And now both sides have a very deep control ward that hasn't been found out. And look at this. Rascal returns to the top side, and he's down to about 60% health again. Oh, that was close. 50 health on the blue sentinel there.
And Deft is 1 auto attack away, actually, from getting that turret plate. So a little bit unfortunate for him. He couldn't get it on this wave, as Canyon looking like he's about to go over. He's still only level 5, though. So a Sir Thomas with a flash and a cleanse can definitely be annoying. Really nice usage of the thick skin.
Yeah.
It's quite thick.
Oh, he's got a thick skin, for sure. Canyon comes down here, but he's level 5, as you mentioned. Deft is just stacking up the gold. You know, he's having a good time down here on the bottom side. He won the lane in game number 1. He's winning the lane in game number 2. And that's even with the Lucian and Braum, who are normally known to be very lane dominant as a duo. As Deft gets in there, he gets the plate, and he's just really stacking it up now.
Deft is trying his best to exert as much pressure as humanly possible, as Nuggery on the top side of the map is doing a really good job at salvaging what happened early on. But Kingzone, you gotta hand it to them, they're definitely faring a lot better in this game. They're ahead with a 1,000 gold lead. Mountain Drake is the one that's alive right now, and they have the better team comp.
Yeah, they have that jungler in the Trundle that kind of shuts down the Sejuani. They have the scaling once it does eventually come down to it, the Azir in the mid lane. Although suffering for now, should be doing well as the game comes along. And with that priority in the bottom side, they are just going to move on over to this Mountain Drake, and Sejuani's going to top Rift Scuttler. So they're not even going to contest it, and the Mountain Drake should go to Kingzone.
Ooh, that's quite a bit of damage that Cannon is dishing out. He does have that Vampiric Scepter, so it is helping Rascal sustain back up. Canyon clearing that control ward. I think that he wants to start the Rift Herald immediately. And Cuz on the Raptor camp. No.
Now whenever Nuclear dashes in, just Tucson laughs in his face. He picked up Cleanse. He's got Unsealed Spellbook. Okay, we're looking for it now. The read as it is going to sail wide. Canyon not as clean on the Sejuani this time around compared to his Jarvan in game 1.
Yeah. And Showmaker, he does have a CS advantage right now.
Oh, nice play there. Dodges the stun. Nice amount of damage coming out already, and Showmaker is going to have to back away. He's not quite in range yet, as Azir doesn't really have many items in this game for now, but a good play nonetheless.
Cuz now clearing out some vision around the top half of the map. Showmaker!
Oh, he's trying to force it here. The Ignite comes in. The stun is going to miss, but does it matter? No, it will not! As the last tick of Ignite gets him down, and Showmaker with the solo kill.
And that's a really, really big solo kill for DAMWON right now. It relieves all the pressure in the mid lane. And now Showmaker is also going to be able to clear out vision around mid. He already had an experience advantage prior to the solo kill, but now getting the excess minions as well as the kill. We're going to take another look at the replay in probably just a second. We're going to get to truly see why Aurelia is a cheater champion, Valdez.
I mean, this is DAMWON Gaming, right? This is the team.
Here we go, here we go. Aurelia decides on this day, on the morrow, that she's just going to cancel her recall. She's going to Blade Surge. She's going to miss some of her abilities. It doesn't matter. She's a cheater. She'll kill you from 2 screens away. No big deal. Shurima fell on that day.
Sometimes in this game, it's not all about the buttons that you press, but it's also the presence of minds to know, is this a play in which I can get the kill? And that's what Faker was so known for, right? For just calling it like 5 seconds ahead. Okay, this guy's dead, right? I know I have him, right? And that was one thing for Showmaker. He's like, really? You're going to stand right next to those weak minions? I can just hop over and kill you. You don't have your ult. You can't push me away. Your one defensive mechanism in your kit is gone. And Showmaker reads him like a book and takes him down. And that's the thing about DAMWON, right? They were always known for being amazing solo queue players. They've finally been molded into a macro team as, all right, he's going to steal that one away as, okay, it looks like actually Canyon got that one. Tucson might be paying for this now as the GP ultimate is going to come in. There's the stun. They link it onto the Ezreal, who has to flash away. And DAMWON continue to push it in this game.
Yeah, and, you know, it looks like Kingzone is just being a little bit over-aggressive for no reason when trying to get themselves more of acceleration and gold, perhaps feeling some pressure from the top and mid.
Okay, trying to dunk him down. Showmaker is going to miss that ultimate on the back and gets electrocuted in the butt as he is on his way out. So a close one there. If Showmaker hit the ultimate, maybe he would have gone in for the kill, but ends up just hopping away on the cannon.
Well, we're going to see what is going to end up transpiring here at the Infernal Dragon. Minute and 15 seconds until that happens. Doesn't look like Rascal might... this is going to be close if he can actually get that turret plate. I don't think that he actually can, though. Well,
I think
15 seconds. No, he can't. No, that's not happening.
This is GP.
Yeah.
As they would say. But yeah, I mean, this is what DAMWON was known for, right? Just to finish that point, they know how to win lane. They're mechanically gifted. They are incredible solo queue players. And it was just about molding them into a team that could win on a professional level, right? In the pro game where you need to have good team calls and macro play as a team. And now that they're getting there, they look like one of the scariest teams in the LCK, if not the most scary, which is great. You know, to have more competition out of younger teams with very new players to the league is exactly what you want to see.
And they're doing a fantastic job with it. Infernal Drake coming up here in 10 seconds. And DAMWON Gaming, I mean, if they do beat Kingzone here, like what you were just talking about, I mean, we mentioned earlier on about going to finals and whatnot, and they're really looking like heavy contenders for it. They're so solid with the transition.
Gonna try to find Cuz here, who did ult the Sejuani, but Showmaker doesn't seem to care. He's going in. There's the big sweep, though, but Cuz is gonna get dunked from long range by the Cannon Barrage of the GP. Beryl and Nuclear was going 2v2 down on the bottom side, but the 2v2 in the mid lane goes 2 for 0 for DAMWON, who do end up making the big play.
Meanwhile, though, the first turret will go the way of Kingzone. Rascal going to pick that up for himself. Oh. As the Infernal Dragon, please highlight one of the DAMWON members. Please.
We're going to give you an Ezreal here. It came right after the Infernal Mystique.
All right.
We just wanted to see the difference from the one.
I just wanted to see the stat amplification. Showmaker. He's going to clear out that minion wave. Let's take a look at this one more time, because he bit off a little bit more than he could chew.
Ooh.
Canyon getting in there. Showmaker following suit. Gangplank ultimate called in. Nahyun. That wasn't the wall that he wanted to build.
No, not the big one. Okay, now we're going to be bullying Nuggery here, trying to go 1v2 without a Cannon Barrage, but he's got a lot of speed. Nice pillar, though. Should be able to secure this kill, as it is going to be handed over to Rascal in the top lane.
That's another nice kill that they end up picking up. Blade of the Ruined King already completed on the Kennen, as well as the Zeal. Kennen is going to be the one potential saving grace that they have if he can really just get out of control and try to enforce a lot of pressure that can allow Kingzone to regain stability and allow the Ezreal and Azir to keep scaling.
Look at DAMWON making this decision. They're like, oh, it's 17 minutes in the game and you want a Rift Herald? Sure, go ahead, take it. We don't care. It's not like it's going to get you a lot of plates or anything like that. We'll just rotate down to the bottom side instead.
Oh.
Beryl, though, he's feeling the wrath of Deft here, who is desperately trying to carry his team. Misses a couple of skill shots there towards the end, and Beryl will survive. Missile Voyage will keep this turret up as well.
We're going to move right back down into the bottom lane. Ghost cast by Tushin just to get the Summoner back. And Iceborne Gauntlet also completed for the Ezreal. Much better than Trinity Force in this team composition. You just basically want the extra durability and the slow utility for the rest of your teammates. No reason to have a Trinity Force for any acceleration. Take another look at this. This is a pretty cookie cutter gank here onto Nuggery up in top lane.
Ooh, nice.
Pillar comes out, tries to get some barrels going, doesn't really matter. Gets one last final proc of Grasp of the Undying.
Yeah, gets shut down there. I like how he held his pillar. That's something, if you guys are a Trundle player and you know he has Flash, that's something you'll want to do. As Deft, Tucson, and Cuz desperately trying to punish Canyon here with the Predator. And it is just not going to work. We had the bottom duo actually come down and mirror them.
Well, Deft is going to try to look like Root from earlier on in the first series on this Ezreal now. Match point, and he's going to need to show up big if they're going to want a chance of bringing this to a game 3. Herald's going to go down. 600 gold lead right now for Kingzone, but it doesn't matter. DAMWON has the Infernal Dragon. That is bolstering some of the stats, so don't let the gold score mislead you. But when you consider base scaling on the champions, Kingzone isn't really that far behind. Unfortunately for them, fortunately for them, Open Dragon's coming up next. That's really, really bad for DAMWON.
We'll see if they can take advantage of that, and DAMWON not really going to get the best streak here, but either way, the game has kind of slowed down after a couple of great plays earlier on. Just waiting for that next step, as Shelly actually did more than expected down on the bottom side. It kind of felt like they were having trouble hitting the eye of the beast there. But did eventually stop after doing about half the tier 2 turret's health in damage in the bottom lane.
Phantom Dancer completed on Kennen. So, yeah, okay. He's not gonna mess around with his split push in the side lane. This is not TFT.
No.
He's not dodging all critical hits, and he is not a Blade Master. So, okay.
All right, here we go. We'll see if that PD helps him out as the damage really comes through. He shuts him down, plus another kill in the bottom side. As Showmaker and Nuggery, the two solo laners from DAMWON, both get dunked in their own right.
And with that, Kingzone jump to a massive advantage now at this point. The Kennen is at a point where he's going to be out of control. Mountain Dragon, they're saying that they want it right now, and the reason that they're doing this is Canyon is stuck on Exhaust.
Oh boy.
So he's going to come over here, he's going to cast the Exhaust. Here we go, ready?
Oh, but he's being denied. Okay, finally it goes down. But trying to sweep over Barrel, Neon has to flash away, but it actually baits Nuclear in. Trying to do the damage, but
so close.
Close one there, but not quite. And look at that. Everybody's going to be swept up and put in the garbage here as Kingzone turned this game around.
Yeah, Kingzone are so far ahead right now. When you consider all the points that I mentioned earlier, take a look at this. There's just nothing that the GP can do at this stage of the game. And then down here in bottom lane, not sure why Showmaker felt compelled, like a magnet to that control ward. He needed to kill it. You know, there was just something about that control. He didn't like how it was looking at him. Ended up costing his life. And then it was a nice effort. Sejuani gated by her own spellbook, comes in here, cast the Exhaust onto Rascal. Really nice. Emperor's Divide keeps Barrel at bay. Canyon ends up going in, misses the smite. That might be all that she wrote.
나이스! 오케이. 다 왔다. 천천히.
Didn't catch the last part of that, but it was a lot of nice and basically he said we got it. So, thank you, D-Sun. But it's not going to be coming in too slowly now, as DAMWON are desperately trying to hold these waves, but they're coming in from two sides now.
This is definitely looking like it's going to go to a game number 3. The DAMWON team composition is just too bad at this stage.
All right, well, the Devourer does come in and a ton of damage already. Look at Showmaker in the backside. Dodges the sweep. He's doing so much here. Rascal
Showmaker
is all alone, and look at Nuclear trying to chase after them. Kingzone went a little bit too far, it seems, as Canyon even going to assassinate on the backside. Can they do enough to Rascal here? It looks like no. Or that is going to put a stop to the Baron push. And Showmaker's actually not done yet. He wants to hop off the minions, perhaps, but is not quite able to kill it with that Baron buff. So DAMWON get 3 kills, only giving up 1, and they stop the Baron push.
They stop the Baron push, they pick up a couple of kills for themselves, but don't let the fight mislead you. Let's take a look at how this all transpires. Cuz goes down without almost doing anything, and Showmaker gets a free pass to Ezreal in the back. Look at Nahyun. He's doing 0 damage this entire fight. Cuz was separated from his team. This isn't a normal situation, but DAMWON are quick to take advantage of it and punish because they were too impatient to allow the side lanes to get into a proper state. They really wanted to force the agenda, and they bit off a little bit more than they can chew. They're still so far ahead. And the likeliness that a fight will be conducted with similar positioning again, not probable.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. It's kind of one of those wake-up call fights, right? Where it's like, oh, okay, well, we still have to be careful. Let's push again. We're still ahead. We still have the Baron, actually, for about 15 seconds. but I don't think it's going to amount to a turret just yet. They might try to siege here with the cannon.
Cannon trying to get a lot of chip damage in.
Oh, they have to blow the Devourer, and now they want to blow up Tucson. They can't quite do it on the backside, though. Cuz here with that stone plate, and he tanks up so much.
Whoa.
Huge barrel on the backside, but Nathan shows up again on the Azir. Showmaker stays alive for too long, but he's gonna go down eventually. And Kingzone looks like they have finally done it here in game number 2.
Yeah, they're gonna push on for the victory. There's no way that Beryl is gonna be able to do anything here. He's just gonna sit on the back. He's gonna enjoy the view.
Yeah, he's gonna have a nice little dance there, deny some damage with the dodge. But that is all she wrote for game number 2, guys. The game 3 you all hoped and prayed for is finally gonna come in here as Kingzone will shut them down. A very quick passes of play with 2 kills, taking out the 2 solo laners into the Baron, got Kingzone so far ahead.
You know what I really like is that when 2 teams of...
They were ahead. It was their moment where their comp should be ahead, even if they didn't have that much more gold than the enemy team. So props to Kingzone. We talked about how their draft looked a lot better there in game number 2. They were able to hold on. It was looking like DAMWON may have been able to just pick up another game, but that is absolutely not the way it went. You can see that depth overflowing with damage this time around. Felt like a bit of a team effort this time from Kingzone, though.
Yeah, and you take a look at the stats, and you can just see Gangplank, he's doing a lot of damage right there. He's getting a lot of grass procs early on inside of the laning phase, definitely a lot of ultimates. Barrow play later on. Ezreal, no surprise, top of the damage chart. But game number 3, I really just feel like the draft is going to heavily indicate who's likely going to win, so I'm going to call it after the draft.
Yeah, okay. You're going to give us your official prediction after we do get to that draft. It is going to take a little bit of time before we do get into that, guys. We will have one more break before the final game of the night. Should be a big one here. DAMWON were looking so good in game number 1, but Kingzone strike back. Let's see who takes it all after the break.